Hey everybody, how are you? This is Peter again for MLB Trade Rumors and Discussions. It's January 2nd, 2020. This is my second video of the year, obviously. I promised you guys I will be making a video every single day for the rest of the year. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to get to the NL West like we've always been talking about. We're going to stay there for a while until different things change because there's so many rumors out there and the Diamondbacks have not finished their team. So I will stay in this division until things change. Or if you guys want to talk about something else, let me know. I'll be happy to talk about it. But I always will talk about the Diamondbacks at least for a few minutes. But regardless, we're going to stay there for this time and we're going to talk about who's winning the division this year. There's a two-team race, right? We'll start with all 5 teams, but the Giants, they're not going anywhere, right? They lost their ace. They got Gabe Kapler. They're not going anywhere. You can just eliminate them. The Rockies, who last year I thought were going to be amazing with that amazing hitting team, but who knew Freeland and the team was just not going to pitch the way they could have pitched because it looked like they were getting better, and clearly they're not. And Arenado most likely is going to go because even if they do well, he's not going to bring them a championship. He's not one guy. So I can see that team easily getting rid of Arenado soon and Blackman and breaking up the team and starting over, right? So I don't see the Rockies doing it. Now the Padres have a good team. They're getting better. They're just not there yet. They're not there yet. We don't need to go through into them. Tatis is an amazing player. They have a lot. I can see them being almost a 500 team, but not there. Then we got the second place team of last year, which was my Diamondbacks, which I love to death. So they are going to win at least 8 more games this year than they did last year. I see 94 wins this year, maybe 95 wins. That's definitely going to happen unless something, or a bunch of injuries, which cross the fingers, no. I can easily see the Diamondbacks winning that many games. I can easily see the Dodgers going back. This is my going on a limb. It's January 2nd. I can watch the video in September and tell me what I've done, how I've done. But I'm telling you, the Dodgers will take a step back if they don't make a move, right? They have a bunch of injury-prone guys, at least 3 or 4 injury-prone guys who are getting older, right? So they have Kershaw at the top of their rotation. He's not the way he used to be. You have Turner, who's still a fantastic hitter, but guy can't stay healthy. He's getting older. He's on third base. I don't see them happening. You got AJ Pollock, who us Diamondback fans know can't stay healthy the whole year, right? So I don't see this team being what it is. They lost Ryu, who was their best pitcher last year at some points, right? So I really don't see them doing anything. You got Kershaw at the top of the rotation. You got Buehler, who's a beast, right? That kid is amazing. But then what do you got? You got Maeda, who, to be honest with you, I don't know if I trust that guy for a full season. I don't see him being dominant. And then what do you got after that? Urias, you just don't see it, right? I know they got a lot of prospects, but that don't mean anything at this point. So I don't see the Dodgers doing anything. Now, if they get Lindor, if they get Betts, one of those guys, or Clevenger, then this is a whole different ballgame, right? But as of today, as of January 2nd, I think the Arizona Diamondbacks can win that division, or it's going to at least be right there. It's nowhere going to be near what the Dodgers did last year, right? Let me tell you why with the Diamondbacks rotation. Let's go over why the Diamondbacks have a great rotation, but why they must make a trade. They have 7 pitchers in their rotation right now. 7, which is a wonderful thing to have, right? Because you don't know who can get injured. You don't know who's going to perform. But let's start with number 1, who's going nowhere. It's Madison Bumgarner, right? Best trade, amazing deal for them. Steal, guys making $6 million this year because it's deferred. You can't get better than what they just did. Everybody's going to regret when he starts pitching next year and his ERA's in the 3s and just dominant. Okay? Bumgarner's terrific. Then who do you got second? You got Robbie Ray. This is the big question mark of the season coming up. What do you do with Robbie Ray? Excuse me, my Coca-Cola. Nowhere near sponsored by them, but I'm hopefully one day. Okay, so you got Robbie Ray, who's second. Okay? Robbie Ray is, to me, he has been getting worse and worse over the last few seasons, right? Granted, he got injured. The guy is a really good pitcher. He strikes out 8-9 hitters sometimes. The guy can go 7 innings if, he keeps his pitch count down. He could be a workhorse, but the problem is the man can't stay healthy, right? He walks too many people. His pitch count goes up to around 100 in the 5th inning. Doesn't really help us. Right, so I don't see him being there because right now on the depth chart they have Merrill Kelly as number 3, I believe, and to me he's not the number 3. right? To me, Zach Gallen's the number 3. That kid is going to be a beast. Or Luke Weaver could be the number 3. Either one. Luke Weaver would normally be the number 3 if he is healthy, but I'm not sure how he's going to bounce back. So you got Bumgarner, you have Ray, you have Weaver, you have Gallen, you have Kelly. That's 5. This has nothing to do with who you picked up last year and Mike Leake, who is going to do well in Arizona. He will win 13 games. He will have an ERA in the low 4s, but he will win you 13 to 14 games a year. He will pitch a bunch of innings. He's a workhorse. There's going to be games where you're like, this guy's amazing. There's going to be games where you're like, oh, he's out in the second inning. That's just who he is. Again, but like Merrill Kelly, if you got these guys in the back of the rotation, they eat innings, they can pitch. So you got a bunch of workhorse guys here in Bumgarner and in Leake, and you have Gallen who can pitch 7 innings, right? Even Weaver can pitch 7 innings. So you guys, they have a lot. And now their bullpen is getting better and better, right? I'm not a huge fan of Archie Bradley, and I know I hate to say that. I don't mean as a because the guy could be fantastic, but sometimes he just comes right at you. And, you know, in MLB these days, like a fastball's not going to do it. You know, you got to have more than a fastball curveball. But, you know, the guy is a fan favorite. I do love him. You know, I can't say anything. It's hard not to like the guy. Good pitcher, but I feel like Ginkel's going to be our closer soon. The guy looks like he has closer stuff. I like more Archie as a setup man. You got Lopez. You got even Andres, who is actually going to have a better year this year. You got Chafin as a lefty, which, you know, he's all right. So they have a bullpen team that now don't have to go, you know, 3-4 innings anymore. They can go maybe 2 innings, right? They can go in the 8th and 9th because if Bumgarner is going to go 7, right? Mike Leake is going to go almost 7. That's 2 guys that can go. Kelly can get into the 6th and 7th inning when he keeps his pitch count down. So you do not need Robbie Ray anymore. You don't need it because now his trade value is going to be the highest. If you roll into that season with Robbie Ray and he doesn't do well, then his trade is going to be nothing. If he gets hurt, you're getting nothing back and the money's wasted. So for me, and I'm sure Mike Hazen's got this already settled, he's got to go. He's going to go soon, and then you take him out, and then who do you have? You still have Bumgarner. You still have, you still have Gallen. You still have Leake. You still have, and then somebody I'm not even sure if I just mentioned, you have Alex Young, right? He will replace Ray. He doesn't throw nearly as hard, but he will be a lefty pitcher who's going to get you 5 to 7 innings all the time. He's going to have an ERA between 3.5 and 4.5. He's a young kid. He doesn't cost anything because he's young. He will be the guy replacing Ray, just pitching slower. I like him, so it's just a no-brainer here. This is a complete no-brainer because if Weaver gets hurt, if Kelly gets hurt, if one of those guys get hurt, you still have a backup and you still have guys in the farm system. So that's what I think. The question is who is Ray going for and what are we doing? The Reds today were talking about still going for Ozuna. I'm not sure why. They have a ton of outfielders, but if they do get Ozuna, that means, you know, Senzel or somebody, they're going to go for Lindor, right? They're going to trade. They have too many outfielders if they go for Ozuna. That's what I think. I do think the Dodgers take a step back. I think the Diamondbacks going to win the division. That's just my take on it. I want to know what you guys think because I'm very excited coming into the season. I keep looking at MLB rumors. I keep loading the page, waiting for something huge to happen. But let's go over one last thing. Why I think the Diamondbacks are going to be a better team, not just for this year, it's going to be a better team for at least 5 to 10 years to come. The Diamondbacks have set themselves up for future success. They did not just get a better team for a year or two and go all in. If they don't win this year, that's fine. They will be better. They will be better the year after and the year after that. They will just keep getting better because they are not breaking the bank on 1 or 2 players. They are a team, right? They are not sitting there looking for just a gigantic player. Each one of those guys can play. Everybody on a single night can win it for you, right? It could be Escobar, it could be Marte, it could be Christian Walker, it could be Nick Ahmed, who actually has done it a few times, right? Yeah, I got Peralta. You have Bumgarner, who's now going to win it for you. You have a lot of guys who can win this game for you. You do not need a Barry Bonds type player to carry the team. This is a team that looks like they're going to go far. And they were missing one thing. They were missing that toughness. That if they go to the playoffs that they did a few years ago against the Dodgers, they didn't have it. They didn't have that toughness. They didn't have Bumgarner to sit there and throw the ball right at somebody's head, at Puig's head. They didn't have that. Everybody's going to be contagious because now they're not going to be scared of anything. The Diamondbacks going into that Dodgers series had too much TV time. They even mentioned it. They were too worried about it. It was too much for them, This year, watch what Bumgarner does to the team. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like always, I love making these videos. It's a pleasure. Please subscribe if you can. It's a pleasure talking to you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.